Three. Hey!
This is it, people. We're here with Gamer Dan, the man. Yes, the
Oh,
champ. My gosh. And people out there, yeah, humble MatMadic's gonna come back in town and give you what you've been asking for with the music reviews and so on. But we're here for games, man. When it comes to Gamer Dan, that's the only plan. But how is it going,
that's
my
right.
man?
That's what I do. It's in my name. Hey, hey, what do you do? So, yeah. It's been an interesting week in gaming. We're going to touch on a bit of the local news, but we're going to continue with what we were doing last week. Last week we were talking about the Game Awards, about looking at some of the trailers of upcoming titles, and
Yes.
having a think about it. We've got a couple of cute, fun ones queued up, but I will admittedly, I do really want to talk about some of what's going on in the news recently. We've had some interesting developments in gaming news, and need to talk about it. Need to talk about it.
That is so true, my man. And here we are, people, and we're on the cusp of what and we have a lot of stuff lined up, and we're gonna go quite rapidly today because we got a lot going on in our personal lives. But yeah, we're on the cusp of something big with Nintendo, with Sega, and even Disney. But it will come up as we progress.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll pick up where we left off last week, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're jumping straight into share sound. There we go. Huzzah. Right. We want to quickly want to thank Polygon, same as last week. We were
Yes.
looking at their website. They kind of correlated some of the bigger trailers. We're jumping straight into Pac-Man Goes Dark. Now, those of you who um, haven't seen it, Amazon released Secret Level, a 15 episode series of videos based on existing gaming IP. It's basically their take on kind of, or at least their supplementary material based on existing gaming IP. And honestly, I'm halfway through it, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. It's nice
Nice.
watching material that's set in these worlds. It is, however, kind of bittersweet because this has been in production for a while now, and one of the games that is included is Concord, which is, of course, PlayStation's now dead, online shooter, which is crazy
Um,
because by the time they released the game, between releasing the game and releasing this new TV series, the game died. It's gone. So people who are watching the show can't play.
Jesus.
Crazy.
This,
It is
oh man.
absolutely cuckoo bananas.
Bloody
But we're jumping
PlayStation.
straight into this.
Yeah.
There is an episode based on Pac-Man, and it's kind of weird to be perfectly honest. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you're thinking of traditional Pac-Man canon,
Hmm.
but it does tie directly into the new game coming out. So we're going to jump straight into the game. Whoop, whoop.
Check it out. Shadow Labyrinth. Again,
That's
I'm
right.
getting Epic Mickey vibes. Not Epic, Scary Mickey, the Halloween.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no,
What
you're
was
right. Epic Mickey. You're absolutely right. Epic Mickey was supposedly the kind of gritty, dark
mm,
Mickey take.
mm.
But that was a bit of a sad tale because the early concept art got leaked to drum up attention, but the concept art showed a far darker take of the game than actually was released. So people were stoked for like a really messed up, twisted version of Mickey, and it really wasn't that bad. It's a good game, simple. It got revamped and re-released, but yeah, it's taking an existing character, a sweet, happy character, and putting a dark edge on
Yeah. What can we expect here? Let's check it out.
it. Mm.
Let's try. So you got some sort of a viral thing going on, and
It
Pac-Man's all
just
about
feel
ghosts.
like something. It feels like the environment feels like there's growth over it. It's almost like
Yeah, what's it remind me of? Princess Mononoke with all those worms coming out of those creatures' faces, which is well, though. This feels a bit like Abe. This is looking at it. The darkness and the face cam style.
feels like aliens, or like
Mm, right.
it's very underground. It's
What?
very Metroid.
Yeah, yeah, yes, it's Metroid, but it's still getting Abe with the darkness, but Metroid mode. definitely is most what it's resembling, and
You
it's
must
very
eat.
clean.
Well, yeah, I mean, the artwork's very sharp, very stark. It's 2D clearly, an environmental thing, but the artwork's very, very polished, especially for
Mm,
Metroidvania. But I do like all the little touches. We saw little bits of the environment look like the original lines of Pac-Man. We've got pellets, but this is the twist. Watch it.
mm, okay. Oh shoot, that's scary.
Yeah, man. It looks like Pac-Man, our lovable hero, is more an automaton, like a floating droid. He's an extension. You are an individual running through a labyrinth, and you use the Pac-Man as a weapon. And
He looks like,
it looks freaky
mm, yeah,
as
shoot,
hell.
yeah.
Look at this.
Bloody hell.
Oof,
It's oh man, God no.
dark, man, unpleasant.
It looks like you can call it Epic Cappy from Mario Galaxy, you know?
Yeah, man. I say, I like the environmental work. Actually, when as you watch the trailer, you can see like this
Mhm.
nice, clean artwork style. You're going to
Mm.
use, attacks or moves to traverse.
Mm. I definitely would love to play it though.
There's projectiles. Oh, there's a blade. There, see those lines?
Mm.
Oh, that's it. It's big Pac-Man
Motifs.
energy. And then there, it goes all the way around, collecting the pellets. I I
Uh,
need to see more to make an accurate assessment, but it's like they just took elements of Pac-Man and they put it into this world. But
I kind of
honestly,
see.
where do you go with Pac-Man? What's the lore, between the
I
ghosts
mean,
and Pac-Man? It's so bare bones that you could tell any story. And I think
that's it.
having
One of the
Pac-Man
things
be
then.
like a extension of the main character implies that we're going to have to fight some messed up ghosts.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I want to go back to, I didn't see all of it. DJ Ghost, DJ Slope. That's not the DJ. He did a review of the whole Game Awards. I want to see his segment on Pac-Man because he's done like a complete hit. Pac-Man 2 part is his biggest complete hit segment. I've been recently repeating this, so it's rolling the history of Pac-Man and so on, and all it spun off to be. But yeah, I think, see, like you said, what do you do with it? It's almost been rinsed out so much, but at the same time, the core game, the classic game, is still so classic. You can put me in the room with the art cabinet and the joystick, and I'll be playing for quite a while. So right now it looks like Venom. I'm getting Venom vibe also. The sticking
Yeah.
off thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The kind of symbiote, a unity of two individuals and the expanding head, like it's an attack, it could be used as an offensive weapon. Absolutely, completely agree with you there. I think he makes a good point. Those classic arcade machines, they, they were designed to eat quarters. They were designed to just swallow money. So the gameplay of classic, really, really, really old arcade machines was very repetitive, was very recurring. They couldn't develop much, so they had to make it a pleasant feedback loop. The primary gameplay loop was simple, but effective. And Pac-Man was one of those that really took off because it's almost infinitely playable. It's just degrees of difficulty, but
Exactly.
that you
Yeah.
will always have a level of agency because it's up to you which way you go, how you play it. The blinkies, the ghosts all have their own different attack patterns. But once you know them, you can work around them. And you see these guys on like 2 hour, 3 hour streams where they're playing Pac-Man for ages, and it's impressive. It's
Yeah.
very impressive.
It's a bit like the Rubik's Cube Pac-Man in that it's got that replay
Hmm.
value that when you see it, you kind of figure out what to do and you think, okay,
Yeah.
let me try it. And then
It's
time
like we
goes
mentioned
by.
before. It's the difference
Mm.
between big and deep. It's a game with an enormous amount of depth. There's a certain depth to it that allows you to play it with intentionality. It's not a big game, but learning the patterns of the ghost, being able to predict all four of them reacting differently, it's very interesting. I think this is one to watch. Definitely one
Yeah.
to watch it because yeah, it looks good. Good gameplay. Look at the artwork on this. It's clearly drawn, but
Yeah.
plays smooth. I saw no slowdown. But again, more footage is needed. But I'd play it. I'd give it a go.
Definitely. Definitely, I'll give it a go. And please, as you have the PS5 between us, just please jump on it and let us know from
Yeah, if I
your
can
end.
get my hand on it, absolutely. Right, jumping ahead.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
there was a lot of games really talked
Happy
about.
to catch your figures
There's
yesterday.
one that I'm very excited with. We talked a little bit about some of these. Ninja Gaiden, very
Oh yeah,
exciting.
that was
But
fun.
going all the way
I think that's
down,
Final Fantasy 7 or 8, maybe.
rematch,
Pleasure.
Street Fight. There is this one.
Okay.
I don't
Oh
play
right.
these kinds of games,
Ah,
but the trailer I've watched it like 8 times so far. I am just so gripped by the game to play, the hook of this game.
mm,
I'm so excited by it. So, so it's one of these choose your own adventure games, but writ
right.
large. Instead of reading the book and keeping your finger in the page, so you're like, oh, I died. I'll go back a page or two. This one's you make your choice, you carry on. But
Hey,
let's watch. And I
see
think
that.
those of you who've been long-time viewers and know what I like, you'll know why I'm interested.
Okay, check it out. One sec. Snazzy, man. Interesting, isn't it?
You're Mega Man. You're dead, I thought.
This on the inside. My suit was destroyed.
You have a lot left to give. I would like to make you an offer.
This is SDN. How can we help you?
You want me to sit in an office and dispatch heroes?
In exchange, we can make you Mecha Man again. Washed up dad bod superhero with no superpowers. Can't wait.
Wow. I'm impressed
Whenever there's a
at how
crisis in
quiet
theater,
I've been.
we get a call, and guess who answers?
Me.
So this is the
Yeah.
primary gameplay hook. You are a dispatcher for a private company. But a bunch of superheroes on the roster. When attacks, robberies, events occur, you have to decide which hero to dispatch for said event. So you have to
Oh.
know which heroes have got which strengths and weaknesses. You can see this statistically by when you select a hero. Oh, does it show you back there? When you select one of the heroes, it shows their physical abilities, their intelligence, their mobility score, their defensiveness. You can choose one or two heroes to kind of compensate, to work as a team. But the best way to learn about these characters, apparently, it's through the narrative. You play the game, you work with these people. It's like an office drama. Imagine The Office, but with capes.
Right.
That feels like such fertile ground for comedy. Like right at the beginning, dude's trying to buy himself a snack, and what does the bat
Mm.
guy do? Bah! Scares him, ruins his snack. It's such a clever hook,
It's
and I
yeah.
am
I'm
excited.
impressed.
Not so much for the gameplay. I mean, it's amazing. I'm excited not
The
to play the game,
story?
but to be engaged by the story, to get to know these characters, to talk with them,
Yeah.
get to know their little hooks, what works for them, and then use that information to make better assessments. Maybe one character has better stats, raw numbers on the file, but I know that they have a proclivity for this, or they have a fear or an aversion to that. And in the situation, I can choose a better person. On paper, oh no, they're not the right one. But I know that they've got a personal grudge against this kind of crime, or they're looking for someone in that area So you send them, and they're going to be more inclined to put in a bit of extra effort. They're going to get more out of them. Oh, it sounds so exciting.
This is fantastic. It is. I mean, and I love the way that they just lay out instead of like bars of steps. I think the aim is to be immediately understood.
I don't have a car.
That's gonna be a weird insurance claim.
The way things are going, I'd cut the whole damn team.
It's
All of
very.
you in this room have set this program ablaze with your bullshit.
You're right at home
Very
behind that
clever.
desk because you're no hero. You're a nerd playing a video game in a suit your daddy built.
You're a dispatcher. Do you get to fight?
Well, apparently, it's for the narrative. What I can see, you are the mech guy. So you are a guy whose father was an engineer who developed a mech suit, and you were Mecha Man. He's pushed his trade, he's trained, but he's only human. He has no physical enhancements. He has no tangible superpowers. He's just a guy in a mech suit. The mech suit at the beginning of the story is destroyed, and you're left, can't fight crime. But along comes this company and goes, yo, we will build you a new mech suit. We will make you Mecha Man again, but you gotta work with us. He's not doing dispatches anymore. He's not in the field, shall I say. He's the one dispatching heroes, using his intelligence to suss out who's the best combination, who works well together to get the job done. If you do good jobs well, you're going to get credibility, you're going to get a better payout, you're going to get your suit back faster. And here in this picture, this is the mech suit. I don't know whether this is him being destroyed at the beginning or him getting revenge of the guy who destroyed him the first time. Don't know yet. But I am just so tantalized by the idea of this kind of combination thing. This works so well for me.
It does. It's really something. Funny.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
That's not what they're. You know what? Help yourself.
That's funny.
But check this out. Watch this.
It looks, yeah.
A laundry list of great voice actors, of great performers. These are people who have been around for a while. We've even got like Moist Critical, which, a famous YouTuber and Twitch streamer. But I am so stoked to see like famous names or well trodden, well performed roles. Right? These actors are going to be people with
this
chops.
project.
Yeah. It's well scripted. I mean, a good paint by ear kind of choose your own adventure. It's got to have a lot of different options, but having a lot of really solid voice acting to perform those roles. Oh man, that really sells it.
This is
it's not a kind of game. This game is by the same people who Ad Hoc Studios, from some of the people who have brought you The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, and Tales of Borderland. All of them same, but they were done by a different company. That company went under, and now it looks like this new company is some of the previous workers who were like, yo, we worked on some of these massively successful games in this genre. Let's do this thing. And The Wolf Among Us has got a special place in my heart because it's based upon a franchise that, the Fables franchise, which long-running graphic novel series by Bill Willingham. I personally love it. It's very, very good. This is again based. It's almost like the kind of choose your own adventure version of not Banjo-Kazooie, Ukulele. A bunch of people who worked from Rare went off and made their own version of the game with a brand new company. This is them from that classic company. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Thanks so much for putting this on our roster because this is probably the most fascinating game I've seen. Even though I love the other ones, but I know what they are. I know Budget Fighter. I know Pac-Man. I know, even though it's not Pac-Man in the traditional form, but Pac-Man. But this, it looks very much like an interactive form of The Office, like you say.
Came out complete left field. I literally came out complete left field. Never even heard of this thing until the Game Awards. And check this out. It's just the end of the trailer.
What's your name, little guy?
My name's Beef and I'm naked.
Oh, no, I refuse to believe that's what he sounds like.
What is going on?
It's got a very,
What's going on?
very kind of ad hoc. It's very cute, very playful way to work through the game. I am excited. I am very genuinely excited.
Yeah,
It's
the
nice
ad
to
hoc.
see people survive the studio.
Yeah.
The gaming industry currently is resplendent with stories of, the last couple of years, massive layoffs, developers getting screwed, publishers squeezing out more and more money from the fans, and
Mm.
we've had some great games die
Mm.
because people from outside the industry swooped in, bought the IP or bought the company, and just ruined it. Like Dauntless. Dauntless was a fantastic game. It was like a more fantasy version of Monster Hunter, strong
Mm.
base, but not an essentially large one. Studio got bought up, and then the game made massive shifts towards being shit. Pardon my language, but it just went. It was just they nickled and dimed everything.
Yeah.
They insulted the fan base, and it was because the people who bought the company just didn't care. They were just in it for short-term gains, and it hurts. But occasionally, you hear stories of people surviving the studio, surviving the publisher, or a buyout, and trying to do something on their own. It's not always going to be successful, but I salute you. So go on, go get in there and do the right thing.
Is it
In
my
fact,
man?
talking
Yeah.
about talking about people who have been screwed by the publisher, we're jumping into IGN, talking about some of the more modern news. I'm gonna stop the share and drop a new one. Whoop, just to give me a bit more portion of the screen. That's all I want.
Um,
There we go. Okay, so everyone's excited. We were talking about Sonic Movie 3. Very exciting. Based upon Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2, famously, the theme song, Live and Learn by Crush 40. Holy moly. That is just like the anthem of Sonic. All right.
wait.
It's been in so many games now. It's been played at so many events. Live and
Are
Learn.
you talking? Are we talking about the like Green Hill Zone? No.
No. I'm talking about final boss rock anthem
Oh.
track. No. Live and learn, living on the edge of tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's the final track to the writer of infamous Sonic Adventure 2 song "Live and Learn." Apparently, he's suing Sega. This is like one of the guys who works for Crush 40. They have been working with Sega for decades now, for so long.
Well.
But
I have my theories.
what's going on here? What's happening? Apparently, he is claiming that while Sega owns part of the song, like Sega owns the lyrics and he owns the composition, or he owns the lyrics, they own the composition. They don't own the song outright, but they have been using it for a long time. It was brought to his attention when he wasn't included in the recent movie, the Sonic Movie 3.
Jeez. All right. Getting a vanilla.
But they
versus,
are absolutely going to use the song because it's based on the game it was created for. It's going to be the song for the final fight. It has to be.
Has to be. So something
But
has to pay up.
he's
Someone's got to pay.
yeah, exactly. It's pay up. I made the song. I own the royalties. Where's my cut? He's not asking for a lot, but he is asking for credit. He made the song. It's his song. Just put his name on there and give him a little on the back. Give him a cut on the residuals.
Yeah.
Cut on the back end. But apparently, Sega's just cutting him out.
Oh,
and
really?
it turns
Well,
out,
I think it's
however, he says Sega has been improperly claiming it is the actual owner of the song and behaving as such, including licensing the song for at least 25 games, TV shows, live performances, and films. Leads straight
that's
into the
funny.
trailer for Sonic 3.
I personally hope he becomes a rich man. Because,
It is frustrating. A 2001 lyric agreement where the individual was paid 3,000 to write lyrics for an as yet untitled song that would be included in his Sonic Adventure 2. He did so at his home studio using his own equipment and his own vocals, allegedly without Sega's involvement. He is the songwriter. It's his song. They maybe had the score and he put words to it. He did work with Sega composer over the phone, with the composer initially sending him a music demo that he supposed to write lyrics for. But the suit claims that the scope of his work, the songwriter, the lyricist's work, expanded over the course of his work on Live and Learn without amendment to the initial agreement, which was only for the lyrics. Allegedly, he revised the song significantly, communicating changes over the phone to the music director. So they had a music score that they wanted to add lyrics to. They hired him to write the lyrics, but he went, yo, this score's not good. And he was editing and composing the song as well as writing the lyrics. This is what he's claiming, is the assertion.
Right.
As a result, he says Sega claimed it, both the recording and the musical composition, but argues that this is not actually the case, and there is no agreement stating as such. So this was like a handshake agreement. Yo, give us some money, I'll do the thing. He did where he went above and beyond on his end, and Sega's like, oh yeah, well, we owe him everything. Oh,
Interesting. Well, this is one of those things. So it sounds like something got missed out of the contract signing, or Sega is being disingenuous. If this man is screwed, I personally hope that he gets paid, because I don't think Sega will hurt that. Fine, they're not Nintendo, but if they can afford to just pay him. It'll make.
Wow. Therein lies the rub, because Sega's going through a bit of a renaissance. They've recently had a couple of, the last couple of years, they've released a lot of quality games. They've got movies out, and they are one of the first big publishing houses, not console providers, not like Nintendo or Sony, but IP holders. It's talking about a live servicing, not a live servicing, what's it called? A streaming deal, a Netflix for Sega games. Like,
really?
You download the app on your console or your PC, and then you pay a subscription, and you can play all their games. This is very akin to Microsoft's Xbox Pass, but the Microsoft Game Pass was access to a whole library of games that Xbox and Microsoft has access to. This is a private stream, first of its kind, and honestly, to me it's a portent of doom, because if it goes this way, I'll have to subscribe to each publisher to play specific games, which means I'm going to have to pay out of pocket to get specific games. So I am a narrative gamer. I play games because there's a good story in it, or I want to explore the world. I prefer games with a beginning, middle, and end. They tend to be older games. More modern games kind of open-ended. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. There's more money in it. But if this happens and I have to pay like 6 or 7 subscriptions, I have to pay for the Sony IP subscription, I have to pay for the Nintendo subscription, I have to do the Sega subscription, I have to do the Ubisoft subscription, I have to do the Bethesda subscription. Oh my God, it will.
There's too many stab wounds playing out all the blood.
Yeah, well, that was one of the reasons why Netflix became so successful, was because it was quite ahead of the curve when it came to streaming. When Netflix first started, it was just like Blockbuster, but mail order. You went online, you ordered a game or a DVD, they mailed it to you, they posted it to you, and then you watched it and they posted it back, and then it was boom. It was cheap, it was easy. But then they got into streaming, and they were so far ahead, they got all the IP. It was game-changing because it meant everything was in one place. People all flocked to Netflix because their library was so large. But once companies realized that they could license their own streaming service, they could have their own version. They started clawing back their own products. They started clawing back their IPs. And now we have Disney Plus, and we have Amazon, and we have Netflix, and we have Hulu. And it's becoming more and more fragmented. It's becoming going the same way it once was with cable TV. You have to buy a big package deal to get access to everything, and you're going to
Mm.
pay for stuff you don't want. Which, oh, come on, man.
This is it. This is it. And again, just like we were talking about earlier with E3, and when they said let's do our own directs, people decided to break off.
Ooh,
People like to just like YouTube. Excuse me. There are these other competing platforms and whatnot. But it's nice to know that there's one place where you can get everybody's contributions. You don't want to keep switching to different apps. You just want to just
absolutely. It's a hassle. It's frustrating. It's you know,
mm,
it used to be you went to YouTube and YouTube had everything. And then it was YouTube and Twitter, Twitter to talk and YouTube to view. And then, Spotify came along. Spotify went, yo, we're not doing videos, we're just doing music. Okay. I want to listen to music. I went to Spotify. I wanted to watch something. I would go to YouTube. And if I wanted to talk, I went to Twitter. And then more came out. And then TikTok. And
exactly.
then more and more and more. And now there is just like a whole bevy of apps.
Yeah.
There are regional ones. China's got their own dedicated one, but that's more of a government interference, government surveillance thing. But
Yeah.
it is growing larger and larger, and some of these companies are losing relevance.
Mm,
Blue Sky is the new Twitter, apparently,
mm,
as Twitter turned to X.
apparently.
It's
Mm.
XXX full of shit. But Blue Sky is going gangbusters, but it's only a matter of time before it starts being infested with assholes, and the new app will go ahead, and then people just keep having to migrate from app to app to app to do the thing they want to do. And if companies realize that if Sega does this, they release a streaming service for games, and it sells, no one will own the game. There'll be no more physical copies of anything. It'll all be streaming. You'll just have to buy a subscription to a company, to a publisher, to
Mm,
stream their games, and you won't own anything, which means they'll have absolute control over, changes to the game. They'll have revisions, updates. Now it's accepted. When you buy a game, if it's screwed up, it might get updated. But that's not such
mm,
a bad thing, because recently I was very, very excited for Rita's Rewind, the Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers beat 'em up. Love beat 'em ups, love Power Rangers. During the golden age of beat 'em ups, there was no Power Ranger beat 'em up. It was like it seems like a match made in heaven. Turtles,
obvious
one
choice.
of like a genre-defining one. Just
Mm,
basically five teenagers going around beating up monsters. Duh, put them in a beat 'em up. But we never got it. But so a lot of people, myself included, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of like 90s kids wanted this game. It dropped, and user reviews were awful. Just panned it through the ground. It was, it got such a terrible response. The company had to do something about it. But apparently, this is, I'm hearing through the grapevines, people are playing the game now and gone, ooh, the latest update. They listened to the fans, they listened to feedback and made changes to the game directly resulting in what feedback. And the game's all of a sudden, after 1 week, it dropped last week. This week, it has boom. It's starting to be good. Online
mm,
connectivity is solid. Gameplay has
true.
been polished. Little tweaks to the combat system, much better. It plays better. It works smoother. It's annoying that they didn't just take the time to get it right the first time, but it is reassuring that they paid attention. But it's one of those things where sometimes they upgrade the game in time, but that's wholly the beholden of the company. If the company don't care, it's never getting done. There are games that are like 10, 20 years old that are still in development limbo because the publisher went, "Yo, we released the game," and the fans went, "It's broken," and the company went, "Sucks to be you. Buy the new game." You know?
Yeah, companies take to pay out. And I think that's one of the things. It's just people, these companies, again, go back to Sega with the situation at hand, wanting to be quite tight-fisted about things. I just greedy, ultimately. But again, when it comes to this guy here, I understand the ramifications of Sega having to shell out. But it's one of those things where you could also do your company good image wise to at least give this guy some sort of a settlement to hey, listen, I know
Yeah,
we were so clear with you to how about we just give you 100,000, 100,000, fine, a million, fine, all right. Fine, 2 million and leave us alone. Or cut off your finger. So it's not no, it's not. But so it's something like that. I think it would do good. I mean, my other theory is that who knows, maybe was it Tony Busby versus Spiro? He's sending his goons out there to try and get Mufasa to try and beat Sega. It's anything. Just
absolutely.
at least
Absolutely. It would go a long way because this is a character. This is a composer who has worked with the company for many, many years, who has done lots of projects, is well known and loved within the community. Sonic fans love Crush 40. They love this particularly. This song is like the anthem of Sonic. All right. There's two songs that all Sonic fans love: Live and Learn and Unbreakable. Those are the two big ones. Last one was like decades ago, and Unbreakable is the most recent one. And they are, you see them used in AMVs, you see them remixed, you see them played, covered by loads of different people. They are
mm,
loved pieces of work
yeah, for
tied
sure.
to these
Yeah.
characters.
Mm.
The company just taking the hit, just the company just takes the hit and goes, "Yo, we want to show love to the creator." You know, I
I think you got to do
one of the
it.
reasons why Doom 2016, the Doom update in 2016 came out. It was stupendously successful, despite a really shaky launch. But that was largely because of great gameplay, smart direction, and a stupendously good soundtrack, like overwhelmingly good. But the company, Bethesda, they did the composer dirty for the sequel. They really screwed him over. They did not put any respect to him. He was just like an ancillary character. They used him and abused him for the second game, for Doom Eternal. And when they released the soundtrack, they just took his work, chopped it up had some third-rate guy cut his music up and released it as the soundtrack, and it was terrible. And people were rightly livid. The fans of the series, fans of his music, were rightly livid. And he was like, "Yo, I didn't abandon the game. The company screwed me. I
Mm.
never abandoned this IP. I'm there for this IP, but the corporate entities just were trying to make
Greed.
a buck."
That's it. Oh, by the
Hey,
way, I was gonna say, sorry, Gaming Dan. We're running to the edge of this
yeah, we're
part
coming to the
one.
end of this. Bottom line, we've seen some great videos come out of the awards, Game Awards. We're very excited for the IP, but I am concerned because the corporate chicanery is just not changing. It's not. It's going to
Yeah.
keep happening. We'll
So,
continue with this next time, but we're going to